Okay, so, before we bring on our guest, I found this great article today on smallbusinesstrends.com, and it's about 15 benefits of hiring military veterans. And I thought, oh my God, I didn't even have to search very long before I found it, but I just want to go in and talk about why it's so valuable to do this. And this is the opinion of Small Business Trends, but it says, at present, there are nearly 1 million unemployed military veterans across the United States. Many of them are desperate for work, and from an employer's perspective, the unique qualities veterans possess could make some ideal job candidates.
Yeah, I think I'm going to look at this through the lens of Carla and my dad and just, try to look at these characteristics that you talk about and say, yeah, that's yes or no, they embody that.
This crazy lady next to me showed up in my office one day to talk about a back to work boot camp. And I didn't know what she was talking about, and I'm like, who are you? How do you
You seem to be really excited about
best
this.
friends right now.
right. But I was like, how do you know about veterans or what we go through when we transition out? And so I started asking her some pretty pointed questions, and then she's like, well, how do you know? And I said, I'm a veteran. And she's like, really?
Wow.
Okay, I did know she was a veteran, but you're trained to ask questions. But not a veteran, I'm sorry.
So from there, a relationship was developed, and the program, her idea, and getting other business leaders involved, HR leaders involved, veterans involved, the program's taken off, and we've kicked off our 3rd year of the program this year.
Congratulations.
That's great. So,
Well, the mission is threefold. I'll say the mission is number 1, to help veterans that have proudly served our country and to try to give back to them as a community. Number 2, it's to try to fill some open positions that our companies that are members of the chamber are trying to fill. And number 3, it's personal. Because again, I have children that a child that's serving and their friends, and it's something that we wanted to be able to help and to be able to draw attention to what we could do in the Des Plaines as a community to come together and give back.
Thank you. I appreciate that. So, does that answer your question? So why? What is it that you found? Why do veterans need mentoring when they come out? Why do they need a 10-week course or a boot camp as you're marketing it as? Tell us what the mentoring process of, well, first of all, why do they need it? And then break it down to how you're mentoring them over that 10-week period.
I'm going to let Marne start this because Marne is a Marine, and she could better explain that.
So transitioning out is scary. You don't know what you need to do. You don't know sometimes what career. I was military police when I was in the Marine Corps, but I knew I didn't want to go into law enforcement after I got out. It takes special people to really be in that role, but I didn't know what I wanted to do, and I had a college degree. So I went to the Employment Commission when I lived in South Carolina, and turned out the gentleman that got me my first job, he's like, he was a club manager on the base where I was stationed, and we only knew each other by phone. And he says, what do you want? I said, I want $35 a year. Now, this was back in 1998. And he's like, yeah, not going to happen. And he's like, I can get you a temp job, $10 an hour in an HR department. And I'm like, that sounds great. What's HR?
That's so
Really?
funny.
Yeah, what happens during the 10
sure,
weeks?
Through the 10 weeks, we have various topics each week, and we work with them. We have mentors that come. And
Well, what are the topics on?
So I mean, we started off, who are you? We talk about introversion and extroversion.
So how to present yourself.
Yep.
Right.
We talk about persona. We just had a class last night. We talked about persona, the different personas or masks you might wear or need to wear from business to social. So it's really eye-opening because in the military,
Company culture.
culture.
Yeah, you have one persona.
Right. Yeah. And it's kind of getting out of that rigid military mindset and knowing that you have to do
Adapt.
different things and adapt into the civilian world.
Because sometimes, you're at least what my son has said, because he's serving, and he says that, they're told to do everything. And then, everything in the military, majority.
What to wear.
Like what to wear, here's the guidelines. And then, when they don't have that, what we've heard in the last 3 years and what Marne experienced, they're lost,
Yes.
some of them.
Yeah, you can easily get lost, and like I said, you need
Without
that start.
direction.
No direction, no career. Where am I going to live? Are you going to stay where your last duty station is, or are you going to move back home? Those
And then do I
types
have
of
to
things.
move with my parents?
So
or am I going to get my own place?
Am I married? What about my kids?
Yeah.
I need a job to support my kids. And some. As you transition out, sometimes you feel, I just need the first job because I need that paycheck to continue. And then they realize they're not happy in the job, but then how do I transition or find that next job or that lifetime job, that forever job? So that's what this program does. And we do mock interviewing.
Yeah.
So we practice and work with them with the business leaders.
We get HR directors and to ask questions. We have somebody that helps them with their resumes. Now, many military, they have them put together resumes before they leave, but we actually have, manufacturing HR directors that, again, there's a lot of logistic people that have just gotten out. So they're actually looking at their resumes and helping them tailor towards what type of position their passion is.
And industry. Yeah.
Yes, exactly.
We've all moved forward or taken steps in our lives. Some of us have had missteps. So if we can help others avoid not making those same missteps, that's what we're there for.
Fantastic.
Yeah, and I kind of serve as the mother hen, so to speak.
Okay.
So every week, it is, we're keeping, in addition to running a chamber, which we do other things for the businesses, it's really keeping in touch with them and letting them know, because if they make it successful through our program, number one, our mission is for them to get a career, not just a job at the end, but also we do, we've raised in donations for this program, and whether it's cash, giving back $500,000 in 3 years. So
Congratulations.
something
Fantastic.
that we're really proud
In 3
of.
years, you've raised $500,000.
In donations, time, and products.
Oh, so you're
and
putting a
things.
dollar amount with time on.
Yeah, and
Okay.
education and
Okay.
all of that. Now, I'll tell you, at the end of the program, we give the veterans, once they satisfy the requirements of the volunteer, the networking, and attending, we give them each an over $8,000 gift package that includes gift cards to
Laptop.
Yeah, a laptop, computer with Microsoft Office, fitness packages, car
Clothing.
maintenance packages,
Clothing for
clothing
interviewing.
for
And a lot of this is
interviewing.
being donated, or all of it's being donated.
For the funds that were donated to our foundation, we actually purchase these items through members of the chamber. So it's
Gotcha.
ways that I could also give back to our community through the funds that we're raising, and then we give it to the veterans.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I mean, it's in resume writing. I mean, that's how we also, get the experts that also could come in to help them from an educational standpoint.